Good morning. I would like to start with a moment of silence for all the pain and suffering around the globe. Jim, thank you for continuing the tradition of a chair of the Mount Sinai Board of Trustees, always at every single breakfast, being here to welcome our attendees. Dennis, thank you for those kind words. In you I found the most wonderful, caring mentor and supervisor. I couldn't have asked for a better fit for me. Let's thank the staff of the Ziefeld who have been here since very early to make this possible. To all of you here this morning, thank you for getting up so early to come and honor our youth, our staff, and our amazing honorees. And you will hear about the honorees throughout the program, but I would like to say a word about each of them. Elsie McCabe Thompson, I know Elsie personally, and have been so inspired by her intelligence, smarts, passion, determination, and ability to get things done, whether in government, the private sector, or the not-for-profit. We all know Bill Thompson from his public roles and are very proud of his leadership and the transformative work he has done. I met Dr. Keith Benkoff, July 1981. He was my supervising resident in my first inpatient rotation when I was an intern. I internalized all his lessons, and there were many. And Keith really molded me into the physician I became. Keith runs, even today, a free GI clinic at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center on his own time and without compensation from us. So we are really thankful to you. Robert Accordino. I met Robert his first year of medical school, and we became attached at the hip. He brings so much energy, passion, and creativity to my life, and I have learned so much from you. I have witnessed your evolution and growth as a person and as a professional, and he has done so well, and he's unstoppable. So we need to keep an eye on him. I love him as a son. I know he had a wonderful mom who passed, but he's one of my kids. Our registration staff are the first to come, are the first to really welcome the youth when they come to the program, and they welcome them with such warmth and then send them home with a smile. So that's really important because that's what makes the youth feel comfortable and keep them coming. And our engineering team are always doing what is necessary to make the youth and the staff feel comfortable, from keeping the building in good repair, to adjusting the temperature, to really removing the snow from outside, always with a smile and competence. I'm at Mount Sinai 42 years, and at the center, almost 40, next July. Some of you perhaps were not even born. Raise your hands if you were not born. So many of you were not born. That's how long ago I'm in that place. I want to thank Mount Sinai, everyone at Mount Sinai, the Board of Trustees, the Auxiliary Board, administration, faculty, and staff for giving me the opportunity to be part of such an amazing organization. Sinai allowed me to build on the amazing program founded by Dr. John Morgenthau. And then Dr. Morgenthau trained Dr. Les Jaffe, who became the second director. And Les Jaffe trained me, and I became the third director. So in 55 years, because of the amazing design by Dr. John Morgenthau, this program has thrived and only has had 3 directors so far. All staff from the center, from the very first physician Dr. Morgenthau hired, Dr. Henry Berman, who remained connected to us until he died a few years ago, to the 130 staff we have today, help transform the lives of every young person who comes our way. My job has been a gift of a lifetime. I have loved every minute of it. And it's hard to imagine when you're in a place for 40 years that you actually love, coming to work every day, but I do. All of you here today, our friends and supporters, including our terrific business professional council, there are no words to express our collective gratitude. You are all there with us every step of the way. You make our work possible. Our awesome young people who are around, and you will see them here, you are the inspiration that help us get up every morning and go to bed every night feeling rejoiced. You are so, so special. Thank you for being who you are. The young people tell us that they come to the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center because they feel welcome, respected, connected, safe, and not judged. That's why they say that they come. Together, all of us and many others have created an oasis in the middle of New York City where young people can get health care they need at the right time, in the right way, to help them have dreams, hopes, and opportunities, to help them evolve into the amazing people they are, and they pay it forward. Many of those young people, we are there for 55 years, so some of them are even grandparents now. They're out there doing amazing things for others, the same way that the center did for them, including me. The center saved my life, and I'm so happy that I have been able to sort of pay it forward in many ways. All of us together are creating a better society with love, understanding, and acceptance. And that's very needed today, as we know, if you look what is happening around the globe. We see and celebrate each other's humanity. Anyway, thank you. Before I leave you with Melissa and Jean, two of our extraordinary young people who will be our MCs today. They spoke last year as keynote. Now they come back as MC. And they're awesome. I just want to let you know that at your tables, you will see stand with QR codes, which will take you to our online donation page. And for those of you who are not technically savvy like me, or do not want to do that, if you want, at the end you can go to the registration table and the staff will help you with iPads. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to have the job that I don't think anyone has. I love the kids, I love the staff, I love all of you. Thank you for making our work possible.
Our next honoree is Dr. Robert Accordino. Dr. Accordino is a dual board certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist who continues to care directly for patients and teach residents as a member of the faculty of Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts General Hospital. He is a graduate of Mount Sinai School of Medicine. As a first-year medical student, under the close mentorship and guiding hand of Dr. Angela Diaz, Dr. Accordino founded Music for Autism, which provides fully subsidized and interactive music concerts of the highest quality for individuals with autism and their families. The charity has partnered with Tony and Grammy Award-winning artists, many Broadway shows, and major symphony orchestras, including the Boston Symphony, to produce these programs. As a medical student, Dr. Accordino oversaw the charity's national expansion. In commencing these programs, Dr. Accordino and Dr. Diaz led an initiative to better identify and recruit those with autism in East Harlem and then introduce relevant clinical services at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center to expand the biopsychosocial impact of the concerts, with the Music for Autism concerts as a gateway to more programs. Since the founding of the charity, there have been over 400 interactive concerts with over 20,000 individuals with autism and their family members served. After residency training in general psychiatry at New York Presbyterian Hospital and child and adolescent psychiatry at Massachusetts General Hospital and McLean Hospital, Dr. Accordino served in the federal government as White House Fellow to the Secretary of Defense, where he led various population health initiatives for the military, including a focus on tech-enabled mental health services to democratize access to high-quality, insurance-accepting care. For this work, Dr. Accordino received the Secretary of Defense Medal for Outstanding Public Service, among the highest civilian honors in the DoD. Dr. Accordino has continued his work in the private sector in the mental health care technology space and currently serves as the Chief Medical Officer of AbleTo, a leading provider of tech-enabled mental health services across the nation. Since its founding, AbleTo has cared for over 500,000 patients with a team of 2,500 clinicians in all 50 states. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Accordino on being one of this year's incredible legends.
Thank you, Jean. And thank you for your most inspiring personal story. We're cheering for you for law school. I'm sorry that medical school did not act appropriately. It's deeply moving for me to be designated a legend by the individual who has been my personal legend and champion and hero and most beloved mentor since medical school and everything that has come since, Dr. Angela Diaz. When I was a first-year medical student, I sent her a note after she delivered an awe-inspiring lecture to my class on the role of physicians to advocate for the needs of our patients and their communities. As RuPaul has taught us in Drag Race, with great power comes great responsibility. Angela would come to teach me the potential of physicians serving as advocates on behalf of patients to impact the health and well-being of populations numbering far beyond those under their direct care. When we had our first one-on-one meeting, I was eager to tell her about the work of Music for Autism that was just beginning. Our lunch, scheduled for an hour, lasted for 6, which will come as no surprise to those who know me. Angela joined our board of directors on the spot and gave us a home to start our programs at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. This interaction sums it up perfectly. Any person, as a patient, as a friend, or as a mentee, is so very blessed to have Angela in her corner. She took me under her wing as a student doctor. I cared for patients alongside her at the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center. We co-chaired a statewide symposium on LGBTQ bullying and its impact on youth physical and mental health. She had me attend these breakfasts each year that inspired me greatly as I hoped one day to become a physician leader like her. We, in fact, had such frequent phone calls and meetings during non-working hours in medical school that her grown children incorrectly assumed that I was a new special someone in Angela's life. I was indeed quite special to be taken under her wing, just not exactly in the way that her kids suspected, sorry. In more recent years, I had the privilege of serving alongside her as a regional panelist to select White House Fellows. As we were given introductions, I shared how moved I was to be interviewing alongside the person who inspired me to serve in the federal government as a fellow. When it was Angela's turn to introduce herself, she didn't miss a beat, and she proclaimed, "Robert is my white son." I have been blessed to have the most extraordinary matriarchs in my life, both biological and chosen. I'd like to dedicate this most humbling recognition to those matriarchs who inspired and fortified my desire to become a physician. My late grandmothers and my late mother, and of course, mi madre dominicana, Angela. On an additionally special note, I'd like to recognize my fellow honorees this morning, especially Dr. Keith Benkove, who has been an amazing mentor and teacher to me since medical school, and alongside whom I have had the privilege of caring for patients. Congratulations. And thank you to the extraordinary family and friends here today, many of whom traveled far distances to be here, hoping this event was at 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. Especially my father, Anthony Accordino, who came up from Florida. I'd like to give a shout out to my California family who'll be watching this at home, my brother Michael, sister-in-law Lauren, and extraordinary nephews, Max and Leo, and niece Bella. And to the teams at AbleTo and Music for Autism, and beloved friends Gregory Rubin and Rachel Moranis, who sponsored the tables, making it possible for us all to celebrate the magnificent and awe-inspiring work of the Mount Sinai Adolescent Health Center this morning together. Thank you.